Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, hello. I'm triplebud, and today we're diving into the beautiful, cozy, mysterious, and sometimes chaotic world of len'sisalnd. So whether you're here for some cozy base building vibes, or to explore some spooky dungeons and swing a sword or two around, this beginner guide should help you hit the ground running, and maybe help you get a pet to collect things for you. So gather your coins for some blackjack, equip your fishing pole for some nighttime snacks, water your seeds for harvest, grab all your tools, and let's get started. The premise of len'sisalnd is that a giant glowing meteor came barreling down and crashed into the earth, scattering glowing stone fragments all over the globe. Lightstone took over the world once again, and anyone who chased it became obsessed, twisting their minds and morphing their bodies. Chaos ensued and humans turned into these dark creatures controlled by the void, but if you ask me, they kind of just look like fancy murlocs from the World of Warcraft. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge on that. All right, so you just landed on len'sisalnd. You're barefoot, you're broke, and you're standing in front of a small town. You have everything you need to get going. A knife, a wood axe, a pickaxe for minerals, a torch to see at night, and a build hammer to craft and repair. First things first, collect resources. You'll need wood, fiber, and stone to survive and build, so get slashing bushes and chopping trees like your life depends on it. It kind of does. As you attack with your weapon of choice, you'll see a little white circle at the end of your swing. That's your crit box. If you time your next click to swing in that circle, it'll trigger more damage on your next attack. You want to make sure you learn how to successfully make that happen as often as possible. I cannot stress this enough. It's going to be your bread and butter once you start to defend yourself. The greater you are at getting those crit hits off at the beginning, the better off you're going to be in the long run. Also, not all weapons and items swing at the same speed, so if you acquire something new, take a few minutes to get acclimated with the new crit box and all that timing as well. Pay attention to the cursor placement on the screen. That's the direction your hit's going to attack. So if you're trying to attack, say like a deer for meat, and you keep swinging away from your target, it's most likely because your cursor is pointing the wrong direction. This combined with rotating the camera around in the right direction can be a little tricky in challenging situations, so try and get yourself comfortable with these mechanics in the early part of the game. That way you're better off later on. When you head into town, you're going to see the Bridgewater Town board that gives the option to upgrade the town for new items, decorations, and a couple other bonuses later on. All the materials you need to upgrade the town are on this starting island. You can press tab to open up your inventory and see what you have, but we'll cover that in a minute. The villagers don't really have much to say, so feel free to stop and say hi if you like, but really, you want to focus on getting your first house created, that way you can survive that first night. We want to build. F brings up the build menu. All homes start with some sort of foundation. Click and drag that first item in your build menu to the area you want to place it, and make your first house. Use the left mouse button to place your first foundation. I recommend starting close to town because your next few objectives will guide you there anyway. If you make a mistake, you can press F again to bring up the option that will let you demolish and give back all the resources you used to create those pieces. So feel free to mess around as much as you want without the worry of losing materials because you made a mistake. As you start to place foundations, use the mouse wheel to rotate. There will be an arrow icon indicating what direction the face of the item is. For foundations, it doesn't really matter unless you want all the floorboards facing the same direction or vice versa. You can raise and lower the height of your foundation by holding Alt and scrolling the mouse wheel up and down. Don't forget that you can also pan around while building with the right mouse button if you need a better view. If an area is too close to a point of interest, like the town, your building part will be highlighted in red and show obstructed. Once you're happy with all the placement, go ahead and press the left mouse button to start your build. I recommend making your base high enough so that way you can walk under it and gather resources that may have fallen underneath your home, because that happens on the early game. So let's go ahead and place down our stairs, our door, our walls, and the roof, all by doing the same as your foundation. Clicking in the item in your build menu and placing it in the location and the direction that you prefer. You'll know you've done the right thing when you hear the quest chime stating that it's completed. If you're having a hard time seeing inside your home, use the E key or click on the blue house icon in the bottom left of your screen to show different levels of the house. You can toggle this on and off. But next, we want to create a workbench. So open up your crafting build menu with F and go to the second tab on the lower box and select the workbench. You want to take that and place it down anywhere you want to in your house, wherever you feel it looks the best. Since we start off with limited space in our backpacks, you'll most likely need more materials to create the rest of the starter items. Go ahead and go gather some more wood, stones, or whatever you need to craft and place a bed using the same method as our workbench. You'll also want to create a campfire. There's no negative effect for having a campfire in your base, but there is a benefit. When a campfire is lit and you stand next to it, your health will increase. So don't be worried about placing the campfire in your home. It might end up saving your life. After that, let's go ahead and make this our spawn point. So click on your bed and select set bed. This way, if you die, you'll be in a safe place. That should also complete the next part of the tutorial quest. But before we move on, let's craft a storage container and click on it. To move items, you can either drag and drop or double click items in your inventory to move them back and forth. To split a stack, right click on the item that you want to split. If you only want to select a number of said items, you can click on it and then right click to drop one. It will not actually drop an item on the ground, but it will move one back to where it originally came from. So feel free to play around with any of that. Pressing C will bring up your compendium. In here, you'll find the skill tree, quest logs, and item details. Every time you level up, you get a skill point. Don't forget to come back to your compendium and spend those points. There's a lot of great enhancements that you can make to your character with these. So pay close attention to the ones in the top corners of the skill trees. Those are some of the best ones, from having a revive to not losing your backpack on death, or even bonuses to crit or extra resources. So really take a look at where you want to go based on your playstyle, and then drive to get some of those good ones early on. There's also some base health that's in between each one of the trees to help you survive. The quest log is the little map tab on the top right. Here, you can look through all of your active and completed quests. So go ahead and scroll through and take a look at some of those. And finally, the last tab is your item collection. There's a list of weapons and tools that show you what level you've upgraded to and how far along you are to completion. There are lower tabs for all the armor sets, along with a list of all the pets that you can collect. And there's the ancient tablets that you'll uncover along the way, and they open up parts of the story. So let's go ahead and jump into town. All the vendors have items around them that you can interact with. So as you move over, you'll see that those item areas, like so the barrels that have, stone in them, they'll be highlighted. You can interact with each one of these things, but pay close attention to what you can sell. This is a great way to make money early game by selling renewable resources, like wood is a great one, or even stone. Each town usually has a vendor that sells an armor set. These will contain bonuses. You can mix and match these sets along with upgrading your weapons and your compendium skill tree to become a powerhouse that dungeon critters are not going to want to mess with. Everything in this first town can be acquired with resources on the first island. Other vendors might sell new weapons like bows or traps that will passively capture animals for you, or maybe even help you capture a companion. And by the way, keep an eye on your food bar. I find it handy to place snacks on the hotbar so you can fill up when needed. The beginning food in the game won't heal you outright, but if you're low on health and have a full stomach bar, this will passively help you gain health, and even faster if you're standing near a fire. The stomach gauge is on the bottom middle of the screen above your green health bar to the right. Okay, on to our first adventure. In the middle of town, there's an entrance to the mines. Head in there and check it out. These mines are not the same as dungeons. They span the entire map. They also have exits and entrances all over the world. You can even make a base or your permanent home down here. Sometimes it's safer here than it is above ground, especially at nighttime. So keep that in mind. You can eventually mine some rare materials down here once you upgrade your pickaxe, and there's some unique plants that you can farm. So even if you don't make this your main home, you probably want to do it, because later on, there's even a place where you can use oil to passively mine valuable resources while you're out exploring the open seas. When you decide to go on a full-fledged adventure, prepare yourself by bringing the max amount of wood and grass that you can carry along with a little coal. You'll be able to use those items to light lanterns or repair bridges and place foundations that allow you to traverse the entire map down here. It's really handy. And if you need health, keep an eye on glowing sections that indicate mushrooms and nab them up. They're good for food. And that's pretty much it for this beginner's guide to len'sisalnd. Hopefully you guys feel a little less lost, or at least a little more prepared to get lost. We'll dive more in depth for tips and tricks and resources in some of the next videos. If this helped you out, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what part of the game you want a deeper dive on next. Combat builds, best crops, secret areas, you tell me. Or maybe provide your own beginner tips in the comment section. If you want to hang out with us while we play len'sisalnd, see one of my giant builds that I'm doing, or any other game, we multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube. So come by and say hi. Awesome chaos. Let me know if you're there because of this video. I'm just starting out, so any love would be greatly appreciated. I'll leave those links down below in the description. But thanks for watching. Stay cozy, stay brave, and I'll see you next time on len'sisalnd. Bye, everybody.